What's happening, Steeler fans, Steeler Nation, Steeler family? What is happening? Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement, aka the virtual Heinz Field. And yes, that title has a meaning. I titled this video, this show, the shortest Terrible Towel Tuesday of all time, and it will be that. I literally have nothing to talk about. Nothing. There's two small things I'm going to point out, and that's it. That's it. But I'm always going to provide some type of content. It's struggle time right now. Right now, there's not a lot of news, guys. It's not. We got a little bit longer to wait, a little less than a month before training camp, and I promise you when training camp comes, everything is going to ramp up. I'll probably have even more shows, not just on Tuesday. But that's it. I have really nothing to get into, but let's give it a whirl. And this is it's gonna be so short that I'm not even going to put the timer on. Let's get into it. Let's say hello to the early commenters, man, and then we'll jump right into it. What do we have here? My man, Lagoon Tours, Bahamas. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing? Lanisha, how you doing? How you doing? Appreciate it. Always appreciate our lovely ladies coming through, guys. We got to take care of our ladies. Be kind to our ladies. Brent Fox, what's happening, man? Appreciate it. Let's give Brent Fox a round of applause. Is the round of applause working? It is not. Hold on. We're going to get it to work. Give me 2 seconds, two shakes of a rattlesnake. Round of applause. Round of applause and a thank you to Brent Fox, man. Has been a member of my channel here for 10 months. Man, appreciate that. He says, couldn't think of a better early birthday present, June 30th, via YouTube. Thanks, Sim and family, for making me feel welcome since 2017. Man, happy early birthday to you, man. I actually have one of my, let me ask y'all if y'all do this real quick. It's a side note, but it's about what I'm about to say. When you guys have family via, like, let's say you're married, right? And, your wife or husband or whatever has cousins and yada, 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 brother, sister. Do you guys say cousin by marriage or brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and all of that? I don't really do that often. Right? I usually just say, oh, my cousin. And then if people ask more questions, I say, oh, yeah, well, it's my wife's cousins, which essentially makes it my cousin. So I say all that to say this. My cousin, who was my wife's cousin, our younger cousin, her first cousin's daughter, his birthday is on the 30th, and they're having a little dinner for her on the 30th. So happy birthday to you as well, Brent. But yeah, I'll actually be celebrating a birthday dinner myself on the 30th. But yeah, that's just me, guys. I try not to, like my brother-in-laws. I usually say my brother. You guys hear me say that about Tony, my brother. You know what I mean? That's just, and then if somebody really inquired, I'm like, oh, well, no, he's not technically my, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just me. Maybe I'm the only crazy one that does that. But yeah, let's get back into the rest of the folks, man. Really quick, you guys early commenters. Who else we got up in here? Hello, the real Missy, another lady to chat, man. Hello. Welcome. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Thank you for coming through. Missy, like always, we appreciate you. Darren Tressler. Who else we got? Daredevil, Joshua Shields, Jersey Boy 70, my man, Why Diggy in the building. Black Thanos, what up, Thanos? I always love that name, man. That's a dope name right there. He said, I'm going to read his comment because I like his name. What did he say? He says, what's up, still? Oh, no, he didn't say that. Wait. Salute Sim in the chat. That's what he said. So salute to you as well. Who else? Still a Lee. Who else? Anyone else? I need to shout out really quick before I keep it moving. Rob Dilla. What's up to you? Rajan 39. Henry Manuel. And there's my brother Tony in the building. And of course, my brother Kenyon in the building. No need to shout them out, right? But I'm going to do it anyway. Ghost Marley, what's going on? What's going on? All right, man, let's get into it. Nothing, again, really to talk about. So the only two things I'm going to talk about, I have them right there in the, in the description. Talk a little bit about Larry Ogunjobi and talk a little bit about Vince Williams. I didn't get a chance to listen to the entire interview that he had with Arthur Moats. I definitely plan to check that out. But, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what he said led him to retirement. And honestly, I think more players should follow his lead in this regard. But anyway, let's knock it out. Larry Ogunjobi, the official contract information has come out. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Round of applause to my brother, Tony, man. Round of applause to my brother, Tony. He says, I'm always going to support my brother. I appreciate that, Tony. And it's all love, it's all family here. Appreciate that so much, man. You already know. Let's see. Official information has come out about his contract. It is interesting that the Steelers signed a one-year deal with equaling $8 million. That is very interesting. I did not know that. I was listening to Steelers Depot to get that information. I'm always going to shout those guys out because they do a phenomenal and thorough job, especially with things like cap. Shout outs individually to Dave Bryan, who's, he's a nut when it comes to that stuff, and he's generally spot on. It is a little interesting that we signed a one-year deal with that much money. Very interesting. Again, I think we're starting to see different things that Omar Khan is doing as a GM, even though he was the numbers guy before. But we're already seeing some different philosophies in how he's doing things, especially with how fast they got the Minka deal done and things of that nature. And signing a one-year deal worth $8 million is very interesting. Now, of course, people are going to say, well, it's a negotiation. What else did he have on the table? What did his side, what did they argue? I get all that, but the Steelers generally don't do that. They usually try to spread that money out, or they try to make the guarantee money or whatever more of a signing bonus type of thing. But again, a one-year deal, so I would have expected them to do, we already knew it was 1 year, but when I found out it was only 1 year, I didn't expect it to be $8 million. Did not expect that. That is very, very interesting. So I'm wondering how, curious to know how you guys feel about that. If you guys can answer that in the chat. How do you feel about the Steelers, giving up that type of money to Ogunjobi? Virtually, pretty much, it's all fully guaranteed. It's a one-year deal. There's no way to spread it out anywhere else if it's just one year. And again, I'm not upset with the signing. I think he's going to help us. This guy has been fairly well against the run. So I think he is a nice piece to add into the fold, especially with losing Stephon Tuitt. Just very, interested to know what made them go that high on a one-year deal on that position. Very interesting. And I'm really paying attention to some of the things that Omar Khan is doing that seems to be, outside of the norm. So what do you guys think? I'm looking at chat here, see what you guys have got. What do y'all think about that amount for the signing? Yeah, Bahamas. That's crazy that we're thinking the same thing. Yeah, and I'm just going to briefly, very, very briefly talk about it. Yeah, Sipper Boy, from what I'm hearing as well, it is incentive-based, but I think incentives, from what I was hearing or what I read, I think the incentives can allow it to be more. I think. I could be wrong there. But from what I got from what they were saying over on the Depot is that he's basically going to get that $8 million. Like, there's no way around that. Kenya says he has no issue with it. Okay. Ghost Marley says it depends on his play on the field. Maybe they see something that we don't. Yeah, and I'm not going to say that they see something that I don't. I think he's, I wouldn't say he's not worth the money. I'm just surprised to see the Steelers do that. Wave Dave says, it looks like they brought him in to start, and that amount is the starter money. Good point. Brian Wilson says, hopefully he's healthy. Dude was inclined inclined for a big payday until the injury. Yeah, he was. Who was it? The Bears or somebody like that had a sizable contract on the table, 3 years something. I think it was 3 year, 40+ million. I think might even be more than that. But yeah. Yeah, that's right. Kenyon says this physical was failed, but they did actually sign him. Yeah. So, listen, go watch his play. I think the dude is worth the money as far as the market. It's just interesting to see the Steelers, and I'm saying this respectfully. I'm not saying this about his talent, but it's interesting to see the Steelers, quote unquote, reach for and give that type of money on a 1-year contract. And when I mean reach, I'm not talking about reaching on him and he's not worth it. I'm talking about we haven't really seen the Steelers do that type of thing. That amount of money with that position for 1 year. That's all I'm saying. So I'm cool. Let's see, one more. My man Bahamas says, me too. Knowing what he brings, I would have done 7.5, 8.5, and if he does, like I think he will, just gets an extension or we get a rookie with the higher. Excuse me, I just ate, guys. So, with certain foods you eat, you get gassy or whatever, burping and stuff. He says, or bringing a rookie with the higher ceiling, can't lose right now. Yeah, and I think most of you guys are kind of right in line with me. I'm not upset at all about the money itself. It's just interesting. Very interesting. It's very interesting that he got that much from the Steelers in 1 year. Hey, Miss Debbie. What's going on, Debbie? Appreciate you coming through. We always appreciate you as well. All of the lovely ladies. Here's another one. Hello, Mr. Dessa. Appreciate you coming through as well, hanging out with us knuckleheads, man. We always appreciate you all. Gary Steele says there's not a whole lot of tape on YouTube. It should be. All you got to do is, watch his Cleveland days, watch, his Cincinnati days. I mean, should be plenty of film. But all right, let's move on to the next topic, guys. And then I'm telling you, that's all I got. Shortest Terrible Towel Tuesday ever. Vince Williams. So again, I recommend you guys go watch it. I have not watched it. I just saw some of the quotables. Have not watched it. I plan to go watch it. But I did, get a transcript of what he said about retirement, so I'll just talk about that. But the reason why I say I recommend watching it, those interviews are always good when you get to hear from people inside of the building or just hearing their perspective, especially if you're a Steelers fan. Why wouldn't you want to go hear some of these stories and things like that? And Vince Williams probably has a ton of them. Just like I was telling you guys, man, and shout outs again to Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, and Fred Taylor, man, for the great job they do over there on the pivot. But again, last week, the Tomlin interview. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Go watch it. It's why wouldn't you? Again, if you're a Steelers fan, get to know these people's personality. Most of y'all should know Vince Williams and Mike Tomlin by now. But I'm just saying, interviews to me is one of my favorite things to watch on people. Period. Whether it's my team or artists that I'm interested in, as far as music artists, I like to hear the real them. And I like when they go to places that's going to bring out real stuff in them. Like, again, you guys know I come from the hip hop world and R&B. I throw all of that in the same category, right? That's my baby, right? I come from music. I did music. I produce music still. And that's kind of where, I'm always going to be interested in, what some of the artists are saying. Same reason why I watch podcasts like Drink Champs, shout outs to Nori, even though it might not be the setting for everyone, but what you get out of the interview with the artist is priceless. That's why I listen to the podcasts like Joe Budden podcast, because those type of things, what you get out of those podcasts, especially when they have guests on, they're comfortable in certain places. They're going to say different things than they're going to say over at this place. So that's why I said, I thought Mike Tomlin said he gave a lot more meat on the bone, like he likes to say, chilling with Ryan Clark and them. So go check that out. Round of applause, man. It kept so fun. Appreciate the donation, my brother. Yeah. I heard about that. That's hilarious. He says, Sim, Adrian Peterson versus Le'Veon Bell boxing match. Your thoughts? And in September, I'm celebrating being a Steeler for 13 years. Man, shout outs to you for that. You know, you're a veteran now, veteran Steeler fan. I really have no real thoughts on that fight, man. I mean, will I watch it? Why not? But and Tony's going to back me up here because, again, our father-in-law, I'm not even going to say he is a world-renowned boxing trainer, okay? Very famous boxing trainer, you know, from the D.C. area, DMV area, trained a lot of boxers that you guys would know. He's known across the industry, you know, numerous people he knew. Tony probably was with him a lot, you know. Of course, obviously, Tony knew his daughter before, you know, I came in the picture, right? So Tony has been his son-in-law for a long time. We're boxing purists, okay? We're boxing purists. And I'm just not a fan of all of the shenanigans, man. Like, and no disrespect to like Jake Paul and all them, because that boy, him and his brother getting that guap, man. Hats off to y'all. If people want to pay for these exhibitions, let them. I'm not mad at that, but it's just not my cup of tea. So to say I'm excited about it, no, but I'll watch it. It's going to be interesting because, you know, Le'Veon has dibbled and dabbled with boxing as far as working out. Adrian Peterson is a heck of an athlete, right? So maybe he can figure it out too. So that might be an interesting fight. Those guys are similar in stature. But I don't really care because, like I said, I'm a boxing. I tell you guys all the time, my two favorite sports is football and boxing. I like basketball. I have a basketball team, but I don't know basketball nearly as much as I know football, obviously, and nowhere nearly as much as I know boxing. So I'm the sweet science type of guy. So those type of da-dunt fights, I'm cool on that. You know what I mean? But yeah, and see, Tony knows, man. Yeah, it's just but we'll watch it. But that's how I feel about it. What you got, Darren? Go ahead, post your question, man. Because again, I don't have anything else. Oh well, hold it for a second. Let me talk about Vince Williams. Then I'm right to the chat, and then we out of here. Shortest Terrible Towel Tuesday ever. So Vince Williams mentioned why he retired. Fully respect it, and I fully understand it, and I think more athletes probably should do what he did. I think some athletes hold on a little too long. So Vince Williams basically said, in a nutshell, listen, he understood he became a cap casualty. It's nothing personal. I think a lot of people know it's not a personal thing, and you know the pecking order, right? You know the pecking order. You know, it's very rare that a guy like, let's say, Ben Roethlisberger was going to become a cap casualty. It's very rare that a team lets cuts a franchise quarterback that's carried their franchise for years. It doesn't generally happen like that. Usually what happens is, if I remember correctly, Tom Brady was a free agent. And, you know, Bill and the boys elected not to bring him back, but they didn't cut him. That's usually what happens. They don't get re-signed or they retire. But when you're in another position, like a linebacker or a running back, you know, a position that is quote-unquote fungible. You know, I don't really want to say that about linebackers because when you get a solid linebacker, a dude can be a linebacker and a very good one for you for an 8 to 10 year stretch. Some dudes might give you a little longer than that if they hang around. You know, dudes like, what's my man that used to play? Last I remember him playing for was Washington. Played for other teams. London Fletcher. You might get a London Fletcher type of career out of somebody that's going to play for forever and ever, right? But it's cool to see that Vince Williams knew. He knew based on what the team was, where they were at that moment, how long he had already been there, where they were cap-wise. He knew he was going to be a cap casualty, so he was like, I kind of knew that. He poked around free agency a little bit, but he realized he didn't want to play for another team, and he decided to come on back to the Steelers, right? Took less money, but then he said once he got out there, he just wasn't the same. Didn't feel the same physically. Didn't feel like he could do the same things he once could. Wasn't a spring chicken anymore, and that's what, he basically decided, I'm going to go ahead and hang it up. And I think that's very admirable, man, and respect, I respect that, because I think some players hang around a little too long, and they know it's over, and they just hang on and hang on and hang on. And I respect the fact, not saying that a player should do this, but it's cool to hear a guy say, I don't want to go nowhere else and play. He was drafted by the Steelers, and he just didn't want to go anywhere else. Sound familiar, right? Who else did that? Remember Hines Ward? Said the same thing. I couldn't see myself playing for any other team. So I just thought that was cool. And only reason why I'm talking about it is, again, there's nothing else to talk about. And that's a recent interview. So, again, I encourage us all, let's go watch it. Arthur Moats did it, the Arthur Moats Experience. Go check that out, man, and see what else he might have to say that's interesting. But I respect it. He wasn't the same guy. We clearly saw it, right, as fans. Remember when we started saying, man, Vince can't run. He can't cover. So shout outs to Vince Williams for that. And I look forward to hearing the rest of the interview. But all right, man, that's all I had. Let's get right to the chat, man. I don't have nothing else, bro. I told y'all this is going to be the shortest show of all time. Well, we have 2 phone calls. Let's hit the 2 phone calls and we out of here. All right? So let's answer Darren's question real quick. He says, how do you feel about all the moves Pittsburgh has made going into training camp? Your thoughts or comments? Well, at the moment, I'm pleased with the moves. This goes way back to the beginning of free agency. Again, you're seeing a different type of culture out of the Steelers, right? And I think even with Kevin Colbert the last couple of years, we started to see some changes being made. But look at what they did. They were players in free agency during the tampering period. Steeler fans, especially like Kev Sofun, who's been there for 13 years, we all know that don't usually mean nothing for the Steelers. That tampering period before free agency starts, usually we not paying no attention. You know why? Because the Steelers was never players. Never. They were never players. They always sat back and they got what was left over for the most part. So to see them being active as they was in the tampering period and addressing obvious needs right out the gate, whether you agree or disagree with Mitch Trubisky, obviously they're trying to rebuild the best way they can or reload, right? They're not just going to sit back and say, oh, well, it is going to be what it is this year and next year we'll. No. Okay? Not only did they do that, they signed a couple offensive linemen, one real good one in Daniels, and another one being more serviceable, right? They get some pieces in free agency. They do exactly what they said they were going to do in the draft. They go get another mobile quarterback. Again, whether you guys hate or love the Kenny Pickett pick, they're sticking to what they said they were going to do. They did that. They get Minka's deal done before training camp, which is extremely important. Take one less distraction out of the way. They go out and get a guy like Larry Ogunjobi later on in free agency, a guy who is very well serviceable. And this is all before training camp. I have no complaints. They're being aggressive. They're trying to be competitive. And we're going to have to see how it plays out. But I really have no issues or no beefs with how they've handled free agency for the most part. Round of applause to Steeler Lee as well as Antoine Hill for the donations. Appreciate both of you. Boy, this is a good one. Great question. He says, with Terry McLaurin, boy, I wish somehow we could have got that dude in Pittsburgh just because of that. He a dog, and he fast. But boy, I like him a lot. He says, getting paid, do you think we let Deontay walk? His contract is 3 years, $71 million. Probably so, man. Unless, listen, Deontay Johnson is going to have to, let me say this. Let me speculate on what I think happens. The Steelers, I think, still believe in Chase Claypool, not necessarily being Deontay Johnson because they played two different positions for the most part. Yes, they're wide receivers, but Claypool is not an X, right? He's mostly a Z, and I think they should try him more in slot. Be a big slot. But I say all that to say I think they still think that he can be a guy that you have to reckon with. Kind of like what Juju was when AB was there. I think they believe in him, right? I also think they believe in George Pickens, who is an ex-receiver, right? Steelers can find other receivers. You know, they go out and get a not just a small gadget guy, but a speedster who actually played on the outside in a Calvin Austin. So you have a guy who's capable of playing outside. I don't know if he plays outside in the pros or with the Steelers, but he's capable of doing it. They're going to find other receivers, right? Whether they get more guys out of free agency or if they draft someone, you know they're going to continue to draft receivers if they have to. But I say all that to say, from a business standpoint, why not let Deontay Johnson play this year? And then at the end of the season, we decide if we want to give him a contract. But what I think this does, seeing what money, the money that Terry got, I think this takes a contract extension before the season starts off the table. I don't believe they're going to pay Deontay Johnson that type of money. I just don't. And I think Deontay Johnson is uber talented. Yes, I'm saying that. Deontay Johnson is super duper talented. He is a number one receiver. Yes. Skill-wise. But Deontay Johnson has had drop issues with the Steelers in key moments. So, maybe the trust factor isn't there in terms of being the guy that's going to bail you out when you need him to bail you out. The guy that can take the game over, that I'm coming to you. And the whole world knows I'm coming to you, like we used to do AB. I don't know if they have that trust in him just yet. Also, let's not forget this, folks. Our offense is about to change. Okay? So our offense, the way Matt Canada might construct it, it might not necessarily need a quote-unquote number one. Canada's offense might just be built for talented people. You understand what I'm saying? Ben Roethlisberger always preferred and needed a number one. Might not necessarily need that so much with Canada's offense. I'm just saying. I don't know that to be fact, but I'm just saying. All right. Let's scroll back up because we got another donation from C. Antoine Hill and Kev So Fun. Let me give you a round of applause. He gave us another one. C. Antoine Hill says, "What's up, Sim? Speaking of boxing, I'm still waiting on Boxing Roundtable with you and Roundhouse and Laugh Out Loud. And what's up with that new boxing game?" Man, yeah, C. Antoine Hill, you always want to talk about stuff that ain't what the stream is about, which is cool, but it's like, don't nobody want to hear me talk about boxing right now. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool to do something like that. My schedule is crazy, man. Like, I would love to do more podcasts, boxing podcasts. I would love for me and Kenyon to do some type of music podcast. Maybe we'll do special segments within this show. Like, maybe we'll do a still table where we talking about music. So for those of you guys who want to hear that, will come watch that, and that's what that show is about. But maybe not a dedicated podcast, because I don't know if I have the time to, unless I could get rid of my, if I was in a position where I didn't have my day job, then maybe. But now I definitely don't have the capacity to do all of that. But it would be cool. And yeah, as far as the new game, I don't know, man. It looks like it's something that could be special, but we all have to wait and see, whenever they're going to have this early release. And we'll see what that turns into. Kev So Fun says, "Sim, I think our wide receiver core is underrated." I do too, as far as talent. However, two guys on that core have not played a down in the NFL. So, but if you're just talking about Deontay and Claypool, yes. I think these guys, obviously, Deontay Johnson has shown what he can be. He's just got to be a little more consistent. If Claypool could just take another step, man, just imagine that. Deontay, Claypool, let's throw Freiermuth in the bunch, like other people that we know already. And then what we think George Pickens can be, what type of little threats and gadgets, as well as deep threat that you have to respect from Calvin Austin. As well as what if we get something out of Miles Boykin? You see what I mean? So, yeah, I think the Steelers got some talent at that wide receiver position, and throw in a tight end, and then you throw in Najee Harris in the backfield. So, absolutely. But all right, man, let's see. We got a couple calls. We got 2. Let's take these 2, and after that, I'll spend a few more minutes in the chat, and then we about here. We up out of here. All right. First one in the queue, area code 651. What you got for us tonight?
What's up with you, Sam?
What's good, man? What's going on?
Not much, man. I'll start with saying I love the Ogunjobi pick. I don't think we could have found another quality starter at this point. I think it was pretty much over with that. So we were stuck with what we had, and I'm glad he happened to be there. Hate he got hurt for it, but hey, we'll take it. Other thing is, I saw an interview with Bush, and I don't know if everybody saw this, but they were talking to him about how he played last year and this year, and he used to recall telling them, I told you guys I wasn't healthy last year. But, I worked on myself. I think I'm back. That's why I think this talking has come back, where he said, I can do this, and I don't have to prove anything. I think he really feels and believes he's healthy again. So we all know with a knee injury like that, it's 1 year to recover physically. The next year is mentally. So hopefully he's ready. Also, I think Vince should start a podcast. I really like listening to him today, man. It's pretty cool. He's always been a character, so I did enjoy that. The other thing I want to say, too, is I got Spence, man. I'm just going to get it started. I got Spence. I like his style of boxing. You know that saying back in the day when somebody wants to fight you, and he said, well, you got to bring A to get A. He coming in there ready. He know the secret. He knows that secret in boxing everybody talks about. These guys don't want to get hit. They want to dance around. They don't want to stand in there like he's going to stand in there with them. But that's all I got, man.
Man, appreciate the call. And yeah, that boy Spence is a problem, man. Really can't. If I could talk about boxing for 2 quick seconds. I can't wait for the Spence-Crawford fight. At one time, I felt like I could call it. But right now, it's tricky. It's gonna be a great one. I love both of those dudes, man. So yeah, Spence is tricky. Spence, because you can't fool around and bang with Spence. That's the thing. And I know sometimes Bud's a finisher, so he'll try to get you up out of there. But you got to be careful dealing with Spence, though. But yeah, man, appreciate the call. I like the Ogunjobi pick as well, man. It's interesting seeing the Steelers put up that type of dough for it. So hey, I'm here for it, man. If they happy about it, I love it too. So all right, next one is area 951. What you got for us?
Hi, this is Pittsburgh from Cali. So man, I'm really excited about the potential of what the sub-package football can do on defense, right, with all the dishes we made. So my question to you is more of a scenario. It's 30-12. You're in Cincinnati playing the Bengals. What's your sub-package personnel looking like on defense on that down? Thanks for taking my call.
Oh, man, Pittsburgh, appreciate you, man. Woof. Put me on the spot. Let me see. Let me try to analyze this. I'm trying to just think of everybody that we have who we might keep on the roster. First and foremost, let me say this as far as sub inside on the front. I'm going to put Ogunjobi out there. One primary reason is, not just to say that he's extremely better than Alu or, any Loudermilk. Probably better than those guys, right? Because he's a veteran. But the reason why I would throw him out there primarily is because he played with the Bengals last year. So he might have some idea as to what they might do. He has some familiarity with the offensive line. So that's number one. And let me see, who would I put out there? I'm going to just say, let's see, in the nickel sub. Obviously, we're going to have Akello out there. Obviously, we're going to have Levi Wallace. And all right, I need you guys' help on this again. Did he say 3rd and 1? Did he say 3rd and 1? I can't remember what the distance was. So somebody give me that answer so I can finish my point. I think he said 3rd and 1, right? I'm gonna wait till y'all answer that. Oh, 3rd and 12. Oh, okay, Bettsburg, right on it. 3rd and 12. Yee. Okay, now it's tricky. Now it's tricky. Man, this is a good one here. I'm gonna say one long shot. If it's 3rd and 12, I might put Leal out there. Only because Leal is claim to fame as far as his game right now is he's better as a pass rusher than he as opposed to a run. Loudermilk, him and Loudermilk is going to be interesting to see which one of those guys emerge as the guy we turn to more in these situations. We could very well use Ogunjobi in sub. We could very well keep Tyson out there, but I think the preference would be is to get more of the body build like Loudermilk or Leal type. So I'm gonna just throw one long shot in my scenario. I'll put Leal out there beside Cam, and then obviously TJ and Highsmith, and then I'm gonna put Cam Sutton in the slot. Because what I was gonna say, if it was 3rd and 1, y'all might laugh at this. If it was 3rd and 1, I might have put Marlette or Joseph out there because they could play the run a little better than Cam Sutton. And hold on, guys, somebody I'm forgetting. Give me a second, and I'm gonna get the donation in a moment. See Antoine. Who am I forgetting? It's another position that I'm forgetting in that secondary. Another pickup. Hold on. Let me look at this roster really quick. I know I'm forgetting somebody, and I can't believe that it's slipping my mind. Let me see. I'm forgetting somebody, guys. I know I am. Where is safeties? DB. Let me just go to defensive back. Okay, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not forgetting somebody. Is it a safety? Who am I? Is somebody I'm forgetting? Casey. All right. So here we go. If we're in more so nickel sub, I gave you the front. We're gonna do Jack. I might get cute if I'm in nickel and do more of a big nickel and replace one of the linebackers with a safety. So I might put Casey in there with Jack. So then we'll have Cam in the slot, Levi on the outside, Akello on the outside, Edmonds, and Minka. But then, what I might want to do, and this is probably what I would do, I would flip those two. I probably would put Edmonds as a sub linebacker along with Jack and put Casey back with Minka. That's probably what I would do. Yeah, and then if it was dime package, I would pretty much keep the same people out there. Bring my boy, I bring Norwood in there as another cover guy. if we were doing more of a dime scenario. But if it was just like sub nickel, I think that's what I would do. I like that because I like Terrell Edmonds underneath. So I would replace Bush with Edmonds, and then the corner package, and then I'd put Casey back there with Minka. Leal as another rush D tackle. That's what I would do. Now, who's to say that would work? And I'm curious to know what you guys would say. Let's catch that donation, and then I'm going to look in the comments. Shout outs to C. Antoine Hill. He says, my bad, Sam. Laugh out loud. I always miss Thursday's show and off-subject questions resurface on Tuesday. I'm just busting your ball. Nah, I can't say that. This is YouTube. I'm busting your boys. Just giving you a hard time. He says, but back to football, I see Pickens as an X. Yeah, me too, man. And again, I think that makes it a little tougher for them to want to just give Deontay the money now. What if Pickens earns his hate? You know what I'm saying? Showing his worth in training camp, and then when preseason hits, and then reps that he's probably going to get during the season. And if they feel like they can groom him in this 1 year and he is a natural X, I'm just saying. All right, what are you guys saying, man, about the rotation? Who would y'all put in? Let me see what y'all got. Y'all said, somebody said number 42. Nah, James Pierre got to prove it. He got to prove it. And thank y'all. Pittsburgh and Sippy Boy was saying, and Charlie Brown was saying Casey. I couldn't remember at first. Casey and Norwood. Yeah, Norwood, I would definitely get him out there and dime. Yep, you're absolutely right, Kenya. Casey could be third safety in both spots. Yep. Well, how y'all feel about that lineup? Kenya says because you could play Edmonds in the box and nickel. Yep, you could do that too. See, there you go. See, that's another flip right there. The only difference is if I know it's a passing down, I might keep I like Cam in the slot because I think Cam does his best work in the slot. Covering those underneath routes, probably a little better than Edmonds. But you could definitely do what you said. Could definitely put Edmonds in the nickel as well. Hello, Diane. Is it Gusevic or Gusevich? Hello. I'm assuming Diane. I don't want to assume anything, so you tell me if you are a female listener, and if you are, we'll welcome you the way we're supposed to. But again, in today's world, I don't want to assume nothing. What y'all got? Norwood would get snaps in the dime. Yeah, Norwood definitely getting them snaps in dime. And it's funny, man. Some people say they didn't like Norwood. I don't get it. I like Norwood. Kazi can play slot also. You're correct. He can play it too. So, yeah, man. And woo. See Kenya just throws another variable out there. What if you want to get cute? Throw Kazi in the slot. Put Edmonds as a sub linebacker and nickel as well, right? In the nickel package. And put Norwood back there with Minka. Ooh. Kenyon, how you like that? Everybody else, how you like that? Straight up nickel, right? Miles Jack and Edmonds at the linebacker spots. Throw Kazi in the slot. Let him play the nickel slot, right? And put Norwood back there with Minka. That's mean. That's a little mean right there. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pat myself on the back. That's a little mean right there. Like my brother Tony would say. That's mean. That's scrunch your face up mean right there. I like that. Bestbird said he likes him closer to the line of scrimmage. I don't know, man. I don't know because I think Norwood is great in space. So I would let him probably work from the traditional safety spot. So like show a too high look, and even if you want to rotate him down, it's cool. Yeah, that would be nasty right there. That would be nasty right there. Ooh, don't get, boy. The things I might pull off in Madden. But yeah, man. All right, so let me see. I'll chill in here with you guys for a little bit longer, man. Like I said, we're going to be out of here because it's the shortest show ever. How long we been streaming? It's already been 46 minutes. What in the world? So we about to get out of here in 5 minutes. And it ain't so short, right? So I might actually have to change the title of this video. What y'all say? Sim, could Bush play outside? He'll have more leverage because of his height. I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, because traditionally, our outside backers are pass rushers. So, I don't know about that. Oh, thank you, Diane. Thank you for confirming that. Hello, Miss Diane. Hello, Miss Lady. We thank you, and we like to welcome you and say hello. We appreciate you hanging out with the knuckleheads. You said my name is pronounced like Gusevich. Okay, Gusevich. Okay, got it. You said it really well for not knowing. My husband and I love listening to you when we can. Well, hello, Mr. Gusevich. Hello to you as well, sir. We appreciate you and your lovely Miss Diane checking us out, man. I really appreciate that. I really do. I tell you guys that all the time, but I really appreciate and I'm really humbled by all of y'all, right? Because it's just me. It's fun when Kenyon comes on. We love that show. When we doing the steel table. I love when the ladies come on and do their thing. But 90% of the time it's just me. And you know what I mean? You would think it would be hard to keep people's attention when it's just one solo person. So the fact that I earned that from y'all, love, man, appreciate it. Darren Tresler says Marlette. I like Marlette. I like Marlette more against the run though. If we're talking about Marlette in the passing game, even though he had a couple PBUs last year, he did because I remember talking about some of them after the game. I probably still prefer those other guys giving them the first crack at it, though. That's, it's just my opinion today. That could change. That could definitely change. Steel City Batman says Brian Flores' impact is definitely going to be felt. Still the most underrated signing. Yeah, I agree with that. Hold on, guys. Forgot to text my lovely wife. All right, about 3 more minutes, guys. Let's see what we got. Somebody said, Charlie, that's true. What Charlie say? Charlie says, I think with this group, you might not have to go sub as much. Yeah, maybe not. Kenyon says he has a feeling that this is Bush's last ride. Bush really got to prove it, man. Bush is going to have to earn a contract. And that's, I don't think that's, me being anything profound. I think we all can figure that out. He's going to have to earn it. Sippy Boy says, do you think now that COVID is gone, we will continue to cut off contract negotiations once the season starts? I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't want to just etch that in stone because, again, even though it's nowhere near the start of the season, we've seen Omar Khan already knock out a contract before going into training camp, where the Kevin Colbert way seemed like it was always something that was getting done during training camp or a week or two before the season started, like right before this. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of the forte. Omar Khan is already doing things a little bit different. So I would probably say that maybe, not doing things during the season, that could be a possibility as well now with, somebody else being in that seat. So we shall see. I agree with Kenyon. I think Marlette is in trouble to make the team, man. That is facts. See, Antoine Hill says, I'm asking because James Harrison and Bush are almost the same height, but yeah, Bush isn't. Yeah, and you just said it. I don't see Bush being. I mean, not saying that he couldn't, but to think that he's just gonna be an edge rusher just like that, nah. Neil Sonoy says, I don't think Bush is here to stay unless mentally he rehabs. He seems too hesitant with contact. But maybe Jack can help him develop. Hope so, man. I'm hoping having a guy like Jack beside him. I'm hoping him, like the caller said, being 1 year removed from the mental part of the injury as well. And Brian Flores. I hope that trifecta right there brings the best out of Devin Bush. And I hope at this point we're talking about next year, man, we got to sign Devin Bush. Because that means he's balling. And if that's the case, why wouldn't we want that? So... But all right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. I'll read one more. The Red Wolf says, I think Bush will ball out but still leave after the contract is up. That's possible as well. One more. Barber Bill 412 says, Vince Williams said he told Bush to go out there and make them give you that $15 million. Yeah, I saw the transcript of that too. So that's why I said I want to go watch the the interview so I can see the full spectrum. But I did see a blurb where they were saying that Vince Williams was like, he thinks that he's going to have a year. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. But all right, man, I appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man. I don't know how I made it to 53 minutes without having any content really to talk about. This is what we do. We're family. It's love over here. So anytime y'all show up, I'm going to do my best to show up. Even if I don't have nothing to talk about, I'm going to always give you the content, man, unless I literally can't do the show because I'm out of town or something like that. Hey. But pretty soon, few weeks, this won't be an issue. This won't be an issue. And I think what we'll do, man, is we'll schedule, let's say, the next still table with myself and Kenyon and Tony, if Tony is available. Let's plan to have that like the week before camp starts so we can kind of give our... what we think we need to see, who we think might show out, yada, 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 kind of a camp preview. And then once camp starts, man, I'll probably do a couple impromptu streams too, man, just daily reportings that we're hearing about. So, but all right, man, that's going to do it for tonight. Y'all know what I'm going to tell you. If you like the video, like the video. There's no way for me to know that unless you show it by hitting that thumbs up. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. No way for me to know that unless you thumb down. Also, if you haven't already and you are watching the show regularly, subscribe. Duh. Why wouldn't you? And once you subscribe, and if you're already a subscriber and you haven't done this, turn on your notifications. How else will you know when the videos are live and running? I don't know. But outside of that, man, you know the routine. Y'all be safe out there, man. Be safe. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, man. Did y'all hear about that crazy thing with the bodies that they found in that truck? Wow, my goodness. The world is tripping right now. Be safe out there, man. Head on the swivel. Do your best as well to stay healthy. Have a great night. Have a great rest of the week. If there's anything that's of news that needs to happen right away, I will come on with an impromptu show. But if not, I shall see you for next week's show. All right. One more in the books. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And always, thank you for checking out Turbo Towel Tuesday. Peace.